Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting. This is a weekly look at news and information in and around Pike County. Our heritage of coal mining in Pike County is a deep vein. Fact check me, but I think 38% of our geography has been coal mined. That, in part, is why our 334 square miles of land has only about 12,500 inhabitants. Our footprint is larger than that of New York City. One of the coal mines, the one I'm thinking of in Jefferson Township near Cato, the property was gifted by Old Ben Cole to the Buffalo Trace Council of the Boy Scouts, and they built a regional scout retreat. A few years ago, that property became expendable by the Scouts and was purchased by Clint and Michelle Swisher. A word to describe Clint is visionary. Welcome to this program, Clint Swisher. Are you in full swing for this year yet?
Pretty much, yeah. We're getting our final slide out tomorrow. We just had to do some repairs and stuff, and we have about 90 pieces that we have out there. It's about the size of a football field, so it's it's an inflatable obstacle course, probably the largest in the state. I'm saying, but it's about the size of a football field, about 300 feet, about 100 feet long. And then we've got a 125-foot slide that we were installing hopefully soon. There's a lot of steps we had to do. They had some power at the park. It was the old Boy Scout camp. So we had some power out there, but I had to run a lot more power. So we ran power to the lake, and now we can actually run it to where the slide is, to have a pump. So when we built the arcade, which is coming soon. But right now we're doing it all in stages. We're going to hopefully have a slide, then we're going to have a big blob that kind of shoots you out like 20 feet and stuff. I mean, people have seen it on YouTube a lot and stuff. But the arcade is coming along. The ice cream parlor and the kitchen the kitchen's going to open this weekend, and then we'll open up the store and the ice cream parlor. And then the arcade hopefully will open this summer. If not, it'll open this fall. So when hopefully we start having campers come in and stuff. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, when we came out there Monday, I was just, wow.
Oh, good. Yeah, you got to see a little bit of it. I mean, you got to see a few of the highlights of it. There's a lot more. I mean, it's 267 acres. So you got to see the dome, and that's a neat item that you don't see every day. The climbing the high ropes course. Behind that, we're going to install zip lines next year. So that's going to be like 3 or 4 going across the ravine, the creek, and then one long one going down. So that way you could either do either one. And next year when we have campers there, one day they could do zip lining, one day they do the dome, and then the next day they do the obstacle course. And then maybe they can go to Holiday World. But they might be having so much fun they won't go.
They're going to be worn out.
I know.
They're going to be happy at Old Ben.
And that's the thing is, Holiday World, takes a day. And then what else? I mean, there's other things out there and stuff. But if you could have so much in one spot, and just make, like I said from the beginning, let's make Holiday World the side trip, and let's everybody stay in Pike County. And then if we can have, and people, there's like with the Jellystone parks, people search them out, and I've done it. I did it for my kids throughout the year. We would devise our trip across the country just for the Jellystone. We hop to different Jellystones because it is a great company and a great camp to go to, because it is all about the kids. When you're doing a vacation and stuff. So. And
you're going to have 300 campsites.
That's the final phase. So we're going to start off with 125, 150.
Wow.
So we're going to start off with that.
Where are you now?
Right now, we only got 9 spots in the parking lot. Right now, we're getting it actually approved by the state as we speak. So by the end of the month, we will be permitted from the state, hopefully, to get it.
And how long will it take you to grow from 9 to 125?
I don't know that. I've been told 3 months. I've been told 6 months. We're hoping that we can start construction this summer. and then get going. I mean, I've got the architects done. I've got the general contractors going. I've got the pool guys ready to go. We already picked out what cabins we want, how we want to do everything. So we're just kind of waiting to hear from the state and go from there. So, because it's hard to get funding without it getting approved. So they want to know that it's for sure going to, before they start handing money over. The bank wants to know that we can build a campground there. So
tell me, and slow down for me.
Sure.
What do you have that is available for people to come do
that's
right
great.
now?
That's a great question.
And you're open.
We are open.
You're open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes, that's the adventure park side. But if somebody wants to camp, we had 9 spots. If they want to camp during the week, they can come back and we can just stay, and they can stay in the parking lot. There's hiking, there's fishing, there's, we're going to probably open, if somebody was there for the weekend, we'd probably get the BB guns out and have BB gun range. We have, the Gaga pit. There's different things for the families to do and stuff. If, most likely, I always joke, when, they're just like, oh, can we stay in the campers or a spot? And I'm like, it's not a very big spot in the camper. It's temporary just to have people that are passing through. But I told them, I was like, you're probably not going to want to stay in your camper. That's not why you're coming here, to stay in your camper. We want you to enjoy the park and enjoy the adventure park. So we will have the floating obstacle course open. We have the zip lining. We have laser tag. Zip lining dome. I'm sorry. I always keep saying it. It's the high ropes course.
So you can do that now.
The high ropes course is ready to go. The laser tag, the water park is good. And then you can just come out there and do all that and hang out. We will have campfires, and if we have people out there, we will do little activities and stuff. I mean, we might show a movie one night and stuff like that and stuff. We're all about, and having our, customer service and making the customer just feel at home and doing everything. So,
the buildings that you have now, you've got the original.
Yeah.
What was that, a mess hall? What
it was the dining hall for the summer camp.
And that's a fabulous.
It's
building.
8,000 square foot.
Oh my!
I know.
Am I messing up your? If you got my levels, so you've got what I call a mess hall, which
right. Well, so it was the old dining hall when it was a summer camp. It's 8,000 square foot, and it has a 3,000 square foot kitchen, which is awesome. And so we're turning that into the ranger station, where we're going to have the front desk where the reservations. You come in, you can relax by the fire. Kids can watch some Yogi Bear cartoons. Next to it's going to be an ice cream parlor, coffee shop, and then in the middle is going to be a store. And then we're going to have a cartoon cafe where you can get home style food, chicken and dumplings, hamburgers, hot dogs, and stuff.
So you've got that facility.
Yes.
That's like 4 good sized houses
under
one roof.
Right.
And then you're building this blue building.
Right.
That's
over 4,000 square foot. Yeah. Arcade will have VR rides, birthday room. That's going to have a nice kitchen, ice cream parlor, store, and then we'll have 4 family style bathrooms for the campers, with showers and whole facilities, and then we have 3 outdoor bathrooms for the water park.
Does that go online next month? Or I said next month. I mean next year, 2026.
Oh yeah, I mean yes, definitely. I mean the arcade. I mean we're going to try to get some in there. We might have the VR games going. They still haven't finished the building. I'm not looking. They're going to finish the kitchen tomorrow, and they're finishing the outdoor bathrooms, so we can use them this weekend. And then the water park will be fine. The arcade might not be open until this fall, but we'll have the VR rides hopefully going soon too.
So we've established that you bought what was the Buffalo Trace of the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, it was called Old Bend Scout Reservation.
Their scout reservation. However, it's for what you're doing. and how you're changing it. It's a major renovation. It's almost a startup.
Oh, basically it is. So we got it. And it's basically, we were told it was an old coal mine. It was named after Old Ben Coal Company or coal mining company. And which worked out to our advantage in a way because there's old strip pits and spoils. But when you look at it, it looks like you're in a little hill count in Colorado or something. You know, you got the lake. You wouldn't think you're surrounded by cornfields all around because all the trees are there, the spoils, and it just doesn't look like normal Indiana. So it's perfect for a campground. I mean, and the scouts got to use it for a long time and everything, and they decided to sell it. And so I took advantage of it and got it. And knowing, from our past owning another Jellystone, that what we could do with it, seeing the potential with it. I mean, every time we looked at certain things, we can do this. Oh, the archery. Well, we can do archery tag. We can do archery lessons for the kids. So we're going to make it like families are going to summer camp. So we're even in the cabins, we're going to put like a little postcard. And it's like, dear mom and dad, having a great time here at summer camp, Jellystone, or something, just little details. So, and we're going to, on the schedule on the wall, we'll have a schedule, archery lesson at this time, a little chalkboard, they can just write times. That way they have the kids can get a feel for it, and the families can like reminisce going to summer camp, going, oh, we got archery class this one. We got canoeing today. Oh, we're going to go down the White River, something. So that way they feel like it's a vacation glamping summer camp, basically. So it should be good.
You're still in the early stages, but there's a lot for people to do now.
Oh, yes, definitely. Right now, I mean, so like I said earlier, we've got the power throughout the park. We got enough power, what we need to do for the RVs, and we're getting that spread around. We're just getting fiber optics throughout the entire park. They just put they're putting a half a mile of fiber optics through that whole thing.
Comcast or
Spectrum or Charter.
Yeah.
So that way, it's sad and good that the two things that you got to have on a campground nowadays is nice bathrooms and Wi-Fi. But it's different times. And so Wi-Fi is really important for people. And so we're going to have great Wi-Fi.
I can go with you as long as I can work.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people did that, and especially in 2020, a lot of people went to campgrounds to work.
So for people that might not know, right before this endeavor,
okay,
you owned a Jellystone park near Bloomington.
Yep, on Lake Monroe over there.
Now I'm going to back up.
Okay.
15, 20,
okay,
25 years.
Okay.
Professionally, you're and I can't say that I don't have a similar story. You're a photographer from Dallas, Texas.
That's what I am. So I started off and got my degree in photography in 95 from University of North Texas.
I'm older than you.
Oh, I feel it though. So then I started working as an assistant for commercial photographers, and then I went on my own, and then I was shooting for different like beer companies or JCPenney's and Neiman Marcus and stuff like that. And so then I started doing that, and then I started doing commercial headshots and doing both and everything. So my wife and I, during this time, we had children and we were going RVing. And we grew up RVing when we were kids, and so we started taking our kids to Jellystone parks and fell in love with the concept. And so we said, well, you know what? We would love to have an RV park when we retire. We were in our 40s at the time, and so then we decided, let's go. Let's see what we can do to get ready. So when we hit 60, we can have this all set up. So Jellystone had a little seminar to come up and say, hey, how to own a Jellystone. Well,
really?
We didn't have any. We were like, there's no way we could ever afford a Jellystone or do this, but we'll go get some free information. So we went. Well, we fell in love with the concept.
Sounds like a timeshare.
It did kind of like, so we fell in love with the concept and we figured out different ways of buying one. So we were like, okay, if we could pull this off, I was like, but I told my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to do this when I'm 60. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this now. So in 2017, we started looking, and we finally found one in 2019 up in Bloomington. And so we left our careers.
What did Michelle do?
She was a photo stylist. So she basically, when you see all the shirts all perfectly folded and certain thing, that's who does that.
Prepare that.
Yeah. So we decided that, and so for 2 years we looked. We went to Colorado and looked for some. We looked at some in Michigan. We looked at a couple here in Indiana, and the actual corporation of Jellystone owned this one in Lake Monroe. And they wanted us to, they said, hey, look, we'll work with you to get this. And so that's how that happened.
So you moved up here and started Bloomington in 2019.
Yes. So,
what else happened in 2019?
Well, that was a crazy part. So we moved up here in 2019 and at the very end of the season. So we closed the park, and we closed actually buying the park in December. So then, March comes around and we're living up here from, and then COVID hit. Well, then everything was shut down. And in fact, Monroe County actually shut us down 2 weeks longer than everyone else in the state. So we didn't get to open up to mid-June.
It's Monroe County.
I know. I know. But there was times, during that thing, it's very scary when you take your entire life savings and, risk everything, your job, your career and everything. And then all of a sudden that happens. And I mean, we were watching Holcomb every day at 2:00. We were watching his little thing.
With his mask on.
Yes. Yeah.
Under his nose.
Yeah. But we were like watching every day to see what's going on. I mean, because it, for a while there, it was very scary because it got scary for a little while, and the lockdown and everything else. And then they started lifting it up a little bit more. When we finally got to open, that's when everything went crazy, and we did really well. And
turned out for your business was a blessing.
It was a very big blessing.
People could keep their distance. Yet be out.
You couldn't be in motels, and hotels weren't open. We're the only thing that you could do. Amusement parks weren't open at the time. So it definitely helped out. But one thing is, we still had to give great service. We still, did everything we need to do to keep the customers coming back. And the great thing about 2020 was that a lot of RVs were sold. I mean, everybody went crazy. They got their stimulus pay and bought it. And I'm just glad that when they came to ours, we gave them a great service, great quality, what's the word I'm looking for? But they enjoyed it. I mean, and then they're coming back. I mean, a lot more people are still camping. That started just then. And if you give them, treat them right, they're going to come back. So, and that's kind of like what happened there. During that time, we bought the park here in Pike County. And gosh, this one's so much bigger. The other one was only about 60 acres and about 30 that I could use. So I couldn't really do a lot.
So you're 4 times bigger than that.
Yeah. And I mean, and there's so much more here. I mean, I didn't have any place to do the inflatables there. I didn't have any way of doing canoeing or anything. And so it was just very small. And so this one's so much more potential that we can do. I mean, I wouldn't be able to have any place to put the dome. Or the arcade. It was just all done. There was no room. So somebody wanted to buy it, and so I sold it to another Jellystone owner, and then we kind of put all our efforts in this one. So hopefully it works out.
What a story!
It's a crazy one, yeah.
We are so glad that you've made your investment here in Pike County.
Beautiful county.
Your location is great. You're right off of 64. You're off of 69.
Yep.
It's
10 minutes off the road, yeah.
Cato is the hub of the universe. I mean, you're halfway between Louisville and St. Louis.
You're right.
Nashville and Chicago.
Yeah. Evansville's the third largest city in the state. It's 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Louisville's, we would have people coming from Illinois, Michigan, everything, traveling just to come to our camp up there. And I mean, I have a waiting list of people wanting to come as soon as we get it ready.
You've just got to get those 125
I know,
in.
I know. We've been working on it it takes twice as long and 3 times as much. I mean, it really does. We've been working on it for 2 or 3 years trying to get this going. And finally, the plans, we started last May to get the plans done, and we're getting submitted. So it's taken almost a year to get that done.
So you struggled in 2019, and Michelle is looking at you like, what have you gotten us into?
You know what? It was originally her idea.
Really? Great.
Yeah. And I kind of went more crazy than she did with it. So that was one thing, going to all the symposiums at Jellystone every year. We'd come up with all the ideas and everything. We're constantly just writing stuff down and stuff. And
your mind, when we talk, your mind is always working.
It is.
But you're an artist.
You know what? That is true. I mean, I got an art degree, and then I'm very creative.
I just meant by being
I know,
professional photographer.
Well, and it's the great combination. My wife's a great artist too, and I'm not great, but we think a lot alike, and when you normally, like, for example, we attention to detail, we come up with crazy ideas that work, and I've told you about this before. It's like when we're showing the movie Elf, we would stop it right in the middle when all the kids are like, what's going on? And we would come out with spaghetti with syrup on it, with sprinkles and marshmallows. And those kids just go so crazy because they've never seen this before. And then they go crazy, and then they're asking for seconds.
They'll remember that when they have kids.
Exactly. And just like any little attention, it didn't cost us hardly anything to do, but it's just small little things you can come up with and different ideas. Like we're going to have an escape room over at the park, and we're utilizing one of the buildings from the past, and we're going to have it where you're helping Yogi get the picnic basket from Ranger Smith. So it's Ranger Smith's office, and then Yogi's going to appear on different windows. It'd be like the TVs basically, and he's going to point out different clues, and the families can work together to get everything out. And so that way they can sit there and help Yogi. It's part of the whole experience of it, Another thing we're planning on doing is ATV family rides, where you get to go have lunch with Yogi. So we're going to be chasing Yogi because he stole a picnic basket. So we're going to be chasing after him, and then we're going to find him, and we're like, whose basket is that? And he's going to point at the people and then give them theirs for lunch.
And I'm a couple of years ahead of you, but you and I grew up on Hanna-Barbera.
We did.
Kids today, do they recognize Yogi?
There was a movie in 2010
that
the Dan Aykroyd and Justin Timberlake. They remember, some of them remember that, but it's very weird to see because we have the little old-looking TV in the front lobby, and the kids will come and sit in front of it and watch the old Yogi cartoons. But they think they're new. They think because they only know Yogi from the park, they're like, oh my gosh, this is a new cartoon. When did this come out? And it's so strange to see them, but it's exciting because they get to see it for the first time. And they get to watch these cartoons. I always play Yogi cartoons before every movie. Remember when we were kids, you get to see cartoons before the movies start. So we started doing that, and I mean, you just hear that noise, that theme song pop up, and the kids come running, and watch it.
So do you have your Jellystone or do you have your Hanna-Barbera rights at this point, or are they coming?
They're coming. We're signing with Jellystone. They're wanting us to make sure that it got approved, and I didn't want to sign with them if the state doesn't approve the area. I don't think there's going to be a problem, but I just wanted to make sure all my ducks in a row. But there's not a problem. When we owned the park, we got the Rookie of the Year for 2020 and 2021. They combined them all together, and then we got Operators of the Year, which is a very big award with them the next year. So we got the top awards within 2 years and stuff. So we did really well. And so Jellystone, they want they want owners that really care, you know.
Active.
Yes. And so they know we would do a good job. I mean, we already got it approved. I've already met with the president. We've got it all approved. He's seen the photos. He's seen the maps. We just got to sign the paperwork. And after you sign, technically you have a year to start construction. So I'm just kind of waiting until we knew when the construction was going to start. And then, but that's not going to be it. Once we sign, then we can start advertising and start using the.
Can you use other Hanna-Barbera characters?
Boo Boo, Yogi, Boo Boo, Cindy Bear, Ranger Smith, and then actually Yaki Doodle, Yaki Duck, or I think that's what his name is. Those 5 we can use. We would love to use Scooby Doo. We would love to use some different ones.
Different royalties, I'm guessing.
I love wacky races and the what we call it, Laugh Olympics.
Yes.
I love those. And those had so many different characters that you can work around.
Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah. All of them were great. And I mean, even through the 70s and stuff. I mean, in the 80s, I think they were still there. So.
Flintstones.
Love Flintstones. Who doesn't like the Flintstones?
Yeah, that was Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So actually, some of those were prime time at one time.
I think you're right.
Well, Scooby Doo, I think he's done real well.
Oh my, 1969.
I know. I mean, he's had new movies out different times and everything else. We were wanting to do a Scooby Doo escape room. Just because of the mission, so many different things you can do. You know, you have a fake mask here and another one underneath it and all that. But we just don't have the rights to do it. So, but I think we'll be able to do the Yogi one really well. So,
I've seen Scooby Doo somewhere. Where is that? Six Flags?
I think it might
that's
be.
Looney Tunes, isn't it?
It is Looney Tunes at Six Flags.
I've seen Scooby somewhere. Where was it? Kings Island? I don't know.
Oh, it might be. I've never been to Kings Island.
Really?
I want to go. We've been to the Renaissance Festival over there next to it, but we haven't gone. I want to. Actually, there used to be a Yogi Bear ride or something over there. He was part of it. So I bet it is Scooby-Doo that you saw there.
Went in 1978
Wow.
or 79, and then...
Well, you were probably just in the crib at the time, you know, in a stroller.
Yeah. I think I was 7th or 8th grade. 8th grade, I think.
Neat. Now, Holiday World's been here that's been around for a long time, right?
Late 40s, I think.
My goodness. Wow.
And Bill Cook, I had the pleasure of knowing the Cooks, and wow, they started with less than what you've started with, and they grew it to an incredible operation.
Yes.
We called it Santa Claus Land.
Okay.
And then I'm guessing early to mid 80s is when it switched to Holiday World.
Okay. Neat.
Somebody can fact check me out there, but that's my guess. Early 80s, it became.
We went for the first time last year. It was nice. It was good.
Denise, my wife, grew up. She's from Heritage Hills, so that has always been one of their main go-tos for entertainment.
Neat. Very neat.
Where do you see yourself by the end of this year and then feeding into 2026?
Gosh, end of this year, I hope that we would be done with the construction. I mean, and we're planning on being open 10 months out of the year. So we're going to be take January, February off. It's just too cold. I mean, if you notice
this past winter.
I know.
The previous winter, we had 4 out of 8 weeks where it was.
I know. It was actually fun a little bit in a way because my legs froze, and I've never got to ice skate on a pond before. So we actually have, and we're going to have it at the park as an ice rink. It's an all year round ice rink. It's that synthetic ice, and so but the ice skates are the same. So we were like, I get my family out there. We go ice skating on a pond, which was the best experience I've Never done it, and it was just like glass out there. It was so nice. But it makes us want to try to do it if we did during winter, maybe have ice skating on the pond or something with lights around and stuff. But January and February, not many people want to RV camp. It's just how it goes. And so we're going to be open up, we'll be open from spring break and stuff.
Christmas lights?
Yes. I think I've talked to you about this before, and hopefully in the next few years, we'll do a Christmas drive-through. And then that way we'll have the ice rink open. And then we'll have the store open. We'll have hot chocolate, Santa Claus photography, hopefully by me. And so you get to meet Santa, and he'll be there to talk to the kids. We'll have after the RV parks get installed, it'll be a lot easier to have power for the drive-through. And that's one of the reasons, like I think Lake Rudolph, a lot of RV places do it because you do have all the power spread out already. But we already have especially when we go on trips, my wife and I will sit there and we'll have a spiral there and we start writing out information and what we're planning on doing. What's the storyline going to be? How are we going to do the lights here and all this? And so we design out everything, just kind of talk and brainstorm basically. And so then we're going to have like Christmas lights, and like with the dome, it's a 35-foot.
Maybe we need geometric. Maybe there you go. Let's describe what you're talking about when you're talking about the dome.
So the dome is basically,
it's like a big jungle gym.
Well, when we were kids, you and I don't know if they even have them anymore. They had the little climbing dome. This is just 10 times bigger. Right. And it has 3 levels of high ropes course where little obstacles where people can lock in on the wire. They're always tied in. They're always cable, so they can't fall. But it still kind of teaches them. I mean, they're a little high up there, 20 feet up in the air, but they're stepping on little ladders and different things. And they just kind of, it's scary, but they know they can do it.
They're safe.
They're safe. Yes.
Are they harnessed in?
They're, of course, harnessed in. Both. I mean, they're attached to the wires, with 2 hooks. I mean, so a lot of my guys that are show, the attendants on that, they'll just fall just to show the kids, hey, look, this is what happens if you fall, and they're just hanging there and showing that no matter what happens, you're going to be safe. And once they see that, they're like, oh, okay. That's safe. So then they'll do it themselves, just to show, and then they have a lot more fun walking. I think, of course, anybody, once you know that you're safe, you're going to have a blast. So what we're going to do with the dome is we're either going to have, either lights on all the metal and for a light show, or we're going to put a cover on it and then have a light show on it. Either different holidays. When we're camping, we might have different things going on it, like a pumpkin, talking jack-o'-lantern, a snow globe for the winter, and Christmas ornaments or something. But something we can do there. So then that way it can be when the last turn you go past, you'll see that final thing kind of glowing and just having fun. But no, there's a lot of different things we can do with it. We might even have it, where people can climb inside it, with the lights going like Yogi Bear running around or something. So we just are all about something new and different. So
it's new and it
is different. Yeah,
it's different. And what an addition to Pike County it is. Thank you.
I know. I hope it. I don't hope. I know it's going to work out. I know it's kind of like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And once the word gets out, and then we have a spot, that's the problem. We just don't have a spot for people. Once we get them cabins in,
so theme parks are pretty expensive these days.
They are. They are.
What is the mission?
Well, the mission for the water park, make sure I get my prices right, it's $36 for all day pass. That's the price, basically price of 2 hours. We have an hour-long pass. You can come, it's $18. But if you want to stay all day, enjoy the beach, we got a jump pad with people, like a little trampoline people can jump on and then come out, enjoy the beach, just hang out. Then they can just buy an all-day pass for $36. If you want to do laser tag, I think that's $8. And then the dome, the climbing dome is additional price. But we do offer a bundle, which is, I think it's like, gosh, almost like 40% off or something. It's 25% off, I think.
I don't want to make you quote something
Yeah,
that you're not sure about.
I don't know if I make sure I got my prices right. But they can always go to the website and then check out for the prices and stuff. So
that's for today's standards, that's pretty reasonable entertainment.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think so. And I haven't gone up on prices and stuff. And yeah, that's how I kind of look at it. It's, it's not something you might want to do every day, but it's something that's, no way. Here's one thing too. You got to charge certain things. I mean, you can't, if I charge $5, okay, people that are going to Holiday World, they're not going to come out there for $5 because that's a $5 swimming hole. But if you charge what it's worth in a way, and
you've got bills to pay.
Well, yeah,
you've got an investment that you're still paying for and will be for quite a while.
Oh yeah, we haven't come close to paying it off yet, but we will when I could have waited. Until we get the whole thing done. But, why? I mean, I want to have some fun too. I want to have some stuff out here for the kids to do and everything. So
Holiday World didn't happen overnight.
I know.
I mean, Santa Claus Land started out, they added this, they added that, they added this, and it just kept growing year after year.
Oh, and that's exactly how most Jellystones have done it. And that's most RV camps, our parks have done it. Problem with me is I want to do all of it at one time, and that's my downfall. And I think we'll probably, once we get the RV park going, then everything else will be a lot easier to do and stuff.
Jill from the chamber was on here a couple of weeks ago, and I used a couple of examples. But some of your best models, business models, are the ones that start small and just grow into what they become. And
I agree. And a lot of times they turn into something different. You think, this
podcast.
Right. We knew our favorite Jellystone was North Texas Jellystone, and it was actually in the city I was raised in.
Were you in Dallas or you were near Dallas?
No, I was north. I lived in north of Dallas when we moved. I grew up in Fort Worth or south of Fort Worth. So,
sure.
But the park wasn't there when I was a kid, but when I had kids, it was there. But he would sit there and build like a big playground area and all this. Well, then the next year that would be filled in with RV spots and the playgrounds moved around. So it's okay to make mistakes and to change things because you might, this will work better this direction.
Find out what works and what doesn't work.
Right. And so, I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn. You have to make mistakes and to do it.
Breakfast sandwich was better than my cream chip beef on toast,
A good example. Okay, so I wanted to bring a little, we had the park up in Bloomington, I wanted to bring a little bit of Texas to it. Right. So I put Frito pie on the menu.
Never heard of Frito pie.
Exactly. But I mean, there is a staple.
Up here, moon pie.
It's true, moon pie. And but so Frito pie, all it is chili on top of Fritos with some cheese and onions. People call it a walking taco.
Yeah, we call that walking taco.
But we have a walking taco is different in Texas. And so nobody knew what a Frito pie was.
What's a walking taco in Texas?
Well, walking taco is with Doritos, lettuce, tomatoes, taco meat. Here, you can put Fritos and chili and lettuce. I know. I've never heard of breaded tenderloin until I came here.
Did they have something like that down there?
What? Breaded tenderloin?
Breaded tenderloin?
It's big barbecue and chicken fried steak sandwiches or big, like that. But,
I grew up in a very German neighborhood, west side of Evansville. My go-to as a kid, it was a special treat. Brain sandwich.
It's my gosh.
Like a gooey tenderloin.
Oh my God. Well, another weird thing for Indiana, not weird, but, and I've done it, is peanut butter sandwich with chili.
Really?
I don't know. I talked to people and they're like, oh yeah, they used to serve this in cafeteria at school. And I've tried it. It's good.
Funny.
It's different. But yeah, I never heard of peanut butter sandwich done in chili. And the other one is breadsticks. Everybody wants cheese sauce with the breadsticks.
Right.
I've never heard of that.
What did you have down there? Marinara?
Marinara, yeah. So, but no, we had to learn a lot. Different people like, oh no, you got to get nacho cheese sauce with breadsticks. Okay, we'll do it. And we'll get rid of the Frito pie because no one knew what it was.
You can just call it walking Fritos.
Well, no, we have walking tacos. One thing we would like here at we were at the Buffalo Trace Days,
Right.
And I wanted to get some, and we always try to learn what people like and stuff to put in our store or our restaurant or cafe. And I wanted chicken and dumplings. And I went and searched. Everybody was out of chicken and dumplings. I was like, well, guess what we're going to have at the cafe?
Right.
We're going to have chicken and dumplings.
Right.
So, but you learn, like we went to, Silver Dollar City in Branson. And we would just hang out and look and see what lines. When we go to festivals, we see what lines are the longest. And we see, okay, well, can we do that? Can we pull that one off? Can we, without a deep fryer or this? And so we would learn, and that's how we,
My cousins, Kenny Coltis out of Chrisney, they have the taffy stand that goes around. Wow. If I see it, I need taffy. It's great stuff.
No, I agree. We try to come up with different ideas and stuff for the it's going to be the barely. How do we go? Barely can fit in the glass milkshakes, and then with all the different stuff on there, we're going to have trying to have special colored ice cream. Different yogi style. We're trying to even do a yogi pretzel that we're going to have a company make that we can have yogi pretzels. And stuff. I mean, and a lot of concepts, Disney has done a lot of the stuff. Disney World, they had the Mickey Mouse pretzel, and they did different things. But like we were talking about the different waffles and different everything. So we take ideas from everyone and we can. If you have some, holler at me. But we want people to come to the park and have special items and special things that they can't get anywhere else. And that's the case. They'll keep coming back. We're going to do. I'm still working on my balloon license, hot air balloon license, so we can do tethered rides at the park.
Wonderful.
Too. I mean, that's going to be an experience that once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Give me a rundown right now. You show up on Wednesday morning at what time? What time can we get in the park?
Oh, for the Venture Park?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. And that way it's open 12 to 5. Noon
until 5 p.m.
Yep.
And you're just going to grow from there. What can we do right now when we show up at 12 o'clock on Friday?
You can enjoy yourself at the beach. You can, we have outdoor games, like big giant Connect 4. You have obstacle course on the lake, the floating. Well, that's the main attraction. Excuse me. And then we have the laser tag. We have the climbing dome and everything else. So those 3 are main attractions right now.
If somebody's having a birthday party, do they just call you, set up?
They can go online. Then we actually have it. They can reserve it online. And
online, it's Old Bend Adventure Park.com.
Yeah.
Easy
to remember. It's a lot more to type out.
But once you type it once, it's going to take you there.
Yeah. But no, and then the arcade will be coming soon. We'll have the ice cream parlor. We do have a cafe there already.
This summer yet?
Within the next month, we should have ice cream parlor and the kitchen and everything open right there. And then hopefully later summer, we have the arcade going.
Okay.
So
maybe July.
Hope so. Hopefully July 4th, we had like a grand opening or something. New grand opening.
Great.
So,
Clint, we so appreciate you and Michelle making this fabulous investment in Pike County.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. I mean, Pike County has been very nice, and all my neighbors and all the people we've met has been wonderful to happen, so.
Thanks for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Harris Real Estate and Petersburg Car Wash. Please like the podcast and share with your friends so more people can hear about WFPC. You may find WFPC Podcasting on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite media. Join us next week. Our guest is, as we celebrate 249 years of independence, is Tom Morrison. Tom is a true patriot. He was a social studies teacher at Pike Central and also an Army Infantry Bronze Star recipient from the Vietnam War. See you next week.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.